Welcome to the Executive America podcast, where we speak with the country's most influential industry leaders on the business and economic development issues taking place nationally. You can stay up to date with all of our content, including our publications, newsletters, and podcasts by visiting www.executiveamerica.com and clicking on subscribe.
Today's guest is SHP President Lauren Della. Lauren, thanks for joining us today.
It's good to be here, Cheng. Thanks for having me, Jesse.
So can you walk us through SHP as a business?
Sure. SHP is an architecture, design, and engineering firm, and we have been in business since 1901. We're getting ready to start our 121st year in business. The firm originally started as a sole proprietor, and for probably about the first 85 years of the firm's history, we were just a small business. But in recent years, we've grown by architectural firm standards, and we have about 110 people on staff, which includes architects, interior designers, engineers, landscape architects, people who specialize in administering construction, as well as all the different types of support services that you would need in a business like ours. And our firm largely specializes in public institutional work, but our work really falls into three categories: education, workplace, and community, places that people gather, places that people experience.
And you guys are celebrating your 120th anniversary. So, what does this mean for the business?
It's very, it's very unusual for an organization of any type to be 120 years old, and we are one of the older architecture firms in the United States. When I think about the last 120 years, there are really a few things that stand out to me. First, I think that SHP's culture and our underpinning as a firm, and also our business model, are really they're really built on creating relationships. We help people. We help people solve their problems. We help people maximize their resources. We help people plan for the future, and we build trust. And in doing that, we're able to become a partner to the different kinds of businesses that we work with. And that's really also applies to our staff as well. So it's both an internal and an external philosophy. I think we treat people like family, and that's one of the reasons why we've been successful for as long as we have. I think another thing is that every generation of leadership has had the foresight to look forward. And you don't survive in this industry for 120 years without planning for the future. It's important to be focused on the day-to-day and the quality of the work that is being delivered, but you also have to have an eye on what's coming. And I think the various generations of this organization have been very successful doing that. And then I think lastly, we have always really tried to anticipate the needs that were coming in the industries that we work in, and prepare the firm to be able to deliver on those needs. And we have had a great time doing it. We're a very creative organization, but we have a lot of fun as well.
You're already touching into this, but I'll ask you to open it up a little bit further and tell us a little bit more about what you think the firm does differently when compared with competitors.
Well, I think there's probably a couple things that we do differently. And one is that we really think differently. We don't think like a traditional architecture firm or a traditional engineering firm. We offer what I would consider to be a lot of non-traditional services. They're not things that somebody would maybe think that we would typically provide. We offer a lot of upfront services. The further upfront that we can get in a potential client relationship, the better. So we often are providing services to our clients before they even know that they have a project or something that they want to do. And so that's been, I think, really important. And, we do a variety of things that I think we're well known for. We're very well known for our use of technology. We're very well known for our commitment to sustainability and resilience in the work that we design. So those are among the things that we do differently.
Now, we'll take an opportunity to give you a platform to talk about some of the work that you actually do. Or are there a few projects that people may have seen?
It's really difficult to narrow down to a couple projects. For one thing, because we've done thousands and thousands and thousands of projects.
Okay.
And for another thing, because it's a little political within the organization in terms of whose projects I choose. And also the idea of, things that people would know about. We do, as I said, a lot of education work, and our work has ranged from, very, very small studies to $100-200 million programs for maybe entire new school communities within an existing community. And recently, we were awarded a grand prize from Learning by Design for a high school that we did in a small town in Eastern Ohio, Dover, Ohio. And it's a great project on a number of levels. It was a very challenging site. It was a very difficult site to work on during construction because the existing building had to be maintained, and it was very, very close to the new construction. And keeping kids safe and staff safe and while construction is going on is also a challenge. At the same time, delivering a unique solution was really important for that community, and we were recognized nationally for it, which was extremely exciting. At the same time, as we're doing big projects like that, we're also sometimes doing one-offs. And maybe one project that people would be familiar with that our engineers were involved in is Orion, which is a gigacoaster that is at the Kings Island Amusement Park, which is part of the Cedar Fair amusement park family. And it's one of just a few gigacoasters in the world. So it was really kind of exciting for them to get a chance to work on that. And they worked on it from the standpoint of hydraulics and some of the other engineering aspects that would go into designing a roller coaster. We also do a wide variety of other things like libraries, corporate offices. We do corporate headquarters. We've done a variety of work around the country for Cumulus Radio. And interestingly enough, more recently, with the sort of rise of the craft beer culture and some of the craft alcohol cultures, we've been finding ourselves doing distilleries and beer tasting rooms and restaurants. So there's just a wide range of different kinds of things that we do where people can work and learn and be entertained.
Fair enough. And I wanted to talk about some of the awards that you have won. I'm told that you did get a National Design Award. So is this the Dover project that you had mentioned, or are there? I assume that there would be other awards and recognitions that you guys have as well.
Yeah, the Dover project is a National Education Award, and it's not an easy award to achieve. We were one of 2 high schools that were awarded a grand prize nationally. So that was exciting. We have been able to receive a variety of design awards through the years, both through our local AIA, which is the American Institute of Architects. We have what's called the Cincinnati Design Awards, and we've received a number of awards through that. And we've received other national awards through some of our education work too. I think that one of the things that's really interesting about SHP is that we're not necessarily a firm that traditionally seeks awards, but we obviously are very proud when that happens. And we've been very lucky to actually receive awards on a wide variety of different fronts, from best places to work in the Cincinnati and Columbus area to again, the design awards that I already mentioned throughout the years, and also were awards for our marketing strategy, our marketing materials, and we've even received a national award for our financial practices. So we're kind of holistic in what we've been able to accomplish.
So you're an Ohio-based company with offices in Kentucky, and I believe you do work in a number of different states. So at an industry or state level, what are the issues that you're concerned about at the moment in a business sense?
Well, I think, the things that are concerning us are not a whole lot different than what most businesses are grappling with today, particularly in sort of the general sense. Clearly, we're all still trying to navigate the pandemic and the impact of that on our businesses and the impact of that on our employees. The lack of available workforce is a huge problem that you're seeing things written about nearly every day, and we're clearly feeling that. We have any number of positions that we've been trying to fill that we just can't find people for, and some are more difficult than others. But I think in general, lack of workforce is a huge issue. And with our industry in particular, there's growing construction inflation. Clearly, the lack of supply that has plagued everything from the grocery stores to the furniture industry is hitting the construction industry as well, and struggling with availability of materials is setting project timelines back. Some of the cost inflation is making it difficult to do work where budgets that may have been established a year or two ago are no longer even remotely close to what they need to be. So those are all issues that we're really grappling with right now.
And before we finish up today, Lauren, is there anything else that you might like to add or address?
Yeah, I have been with SHP for 34 years. I just actually had my 34th anniversary. And as I think about the firm and my bringing my career to a close and things like that, I am really, really proud of the organization that we are. I think we have amazing talent, just an incredible group of people. And this is an organization that has thrived throughout the last 120 years because we really believe strongly in raising people up. There is a sense that all the work that we do, whether it's very localized or it's much more national, is about strengthening communities. And we feel that we do that both in sort of the literal and figurative sense. And honestly, it's really what attracted me to SHP many years ago when I first decided to come here, was that the values in this organization are really, really strong, and they've held strong throughout the 120 years of the firm's history.
Excellent. Well, Lauren, thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk with you.
You're more than welcome.
This has been a production of Executive America, a division of Romulus Rising Proprietary Limited. All rights reserved. You can stay up to date with Executive America, including our publications, newsletters, and podcasts by visiting www.executiveamerica.com and clicking on subscribe.